Yeah, I think Saturday you call some other program, but because it was on TV, I had
Mm,
opportunity to follow later with
mhm,
address. I think his President Mahama Emma later, and former president, and it wasn't surprising because Dr. Ren, as opposition party, who seek to take over the reins of power, no, and so where the current state of this country, maybe a genus says, where the economic state in as a former, a man for Abuto, a man for economically, certain things are not going well. There are people who call you on daily basis and tell you, say, hey, Charlie, the way a man of things are going, maybe I have given up on Ghana because it doesn't appear say the NDC and the MPP are the magic wine. Even if they can cry, they are not willing to do that. So the level of frustration in town are heightened to a certain level. People are in a way looking for a way out. And I think that at this particular point in time, so we are opposition party, a very nice opportunity for you. Say, you lay out an alternative. You think that different from the current predicament amount we go through. So when you lay out such an option to people and you're able to convince people to buy into the vision, say, okay, this is the oho, and this is the alternative I may work. And the last time when I spoke to you, Mekatro said, going into this particular election, Adia Bakwa, John Mahama wa other candidates in NDB, a good well. Me nim said the Messiah can I will mu. But whichever way you want to see it, goodwill is on his side because this is a guy who was president in 2016. Ghana for feel say, oh, happenings then weren't enough. You could have done better. Neman and Neman Shadam Koye and who what happened in 2016. And then Akufo-Addo presented himself as a viable alternative. Or can't send the Bawumia, open tea picture say, oh, the Mahama no dear sabi crowdia be no was superior knowledge or bar obetimi aba things are better. Now we're advancing Ghana's economy to a level where Ghana for any budget. Ghana for 10 said the Akumian sharing. Dr. Ren, in the last 7 years, you know what Ghana has become. And so state Ghana Genesis here, goodwill will shift to Mahama because so what say comparatively, what had now happened in 2016, now compare now. Say things were far better than today I will be a day. So that goodwill no becomes okay. So we nipa no mujina stage in this in the middle people no when I serious or why ready say indeed or person or capture political power. I will come to me now the man is here now or ready so best. So if the average Ghanaian look through na say onya sa nipa no bia, then the goodwill will tell to nipa na no ha na amanfo say onye na the omodene baaye no abeye worse no, then he becomes the default option until say other alternative be present here who say better than that person the original one. So goodwill is on the side, but you see goodwill alone is not enough, especially time here ye jinami. And this all person ultimate way power indeed. You need to go beyond that goodwill, no, and you truly convince people say these are Nema Wa Sebi Ubeting the assistant the stake. There are a lot of people who are still not convinced because you see, for 1992, basically there, NBC, MPP, NDC, MPP, acquire same old story and then as a forth. So at this time, if you want to win the hearts and the minds of people within the middle, we need to go extra to convince people that this time around, it's not going to be business as usual. Nema Yahoo in the past, and yes, I Nema Nebesi because I'm missing and leadership table, no. What's a movie, meti movie? Ghanaians in the diaspora at a movie, and now you don't need to travel to Ghana to learn what is going on here. Just social media and kasa enough place. I'll gather a lot of information. And now by a president or Ghana, we not for to say in the past, no. Because obi him, I didn't to tell ya obi. So people have become very critical. And if you're seeking to take over the reins of such a country, you should be ready to upgrade yourself to a level. Say at this time, no, things are going to be different. And I think that was the kind of way are not happening here because the issue I may want to say, Dr. Ren. So we have political parties aside the NDC and the MPP on war medal now. There is something you lose sight on. The last time I catch said the NDC and the NPP are established political institutions. It may be true, they have failed, it may be true, whatever we want to discuss it. But the fact is that these two political parties remain an established political institution, a more nationwide appeal and a coverage. And this is why Obia what's in channel for so me had 92 BC and there. Now me had the NDC and the NPP offer to Ghanaians and enough, and you want to do something different now. Dr. Ren, you need to present yourself as a very credible alternative who is ready to capture political power, and you don't surface in an election year. Very, very, very important. You don't surface in an election year, because an election year ain't enough to get that nationwide coverage, unless say you are just shopping for attention. You want people to see so and that kind of way, And that is what I see. Because Obi are serious. What can I say? We say, oh, NDC and MPP for that 1992 basis there, you set yourself even immediately after 2020 election, That's when you set machineries in motion. Now we're making sure that nationwide, we cover baby. Yeah, yentena kramfa when presidential elections and yentena Kumasi and yentena radio in social media. So what is the level of organization? What is the level of your friends rich countrywide? How prepared are you as a gradual processor and Oko Europa? Many of the political parties, I say Macron party, I say party the buyer or winning elections. No. This is a party, underground, They worked really hard for years to establish themselves across the country. Our nationwide appeal, making sure that policies and as a form of presenting are so coherent enough. But you know very well that these are institutions that from Hohoi to Tamale to Wine, they are everywhere. That's how person would dethrone you more. Imagine in an election year with barely about 12 months and access 9 months to go to elections, It becomes funny because as I say, when you're ready and so you know when. You just want to do things, keke. And that's why I say, when I look through the medal, I don't see any of them are serious. And again, the last time I was telling you, if people really believe, NDC, MPP, MY, and that there is the need for us to dethrone them, the best option you can say, middle political party, you can see them coming together to form a bigger alliance. A bigger alliance, a force, or make me offer certain competition to NDC and MPP.
It's nice to be all country say be a year Kofi Krantins and can be on nature damun and uncoma common boom. Nanka at least
yes.
To me, I'm a nipper back with the woman in saying, say, yes, no.
Disjointed way, and as I would say conversation, I'm told they have attempted it several times, but Mukushia Obi a person on the president. Now
Unim say since 2018, myself initiated this particular third force saying in boom. So I brought on board PPP, CPP, Kofi Kranting, I mean most of these independent candidates. Now the problem in our is obia person in the decline.
Yes.
Obia person decline. And then I'm basing then me once yenye hunu nipa ayese otimi die nima yenyina ebe follow nti so hwe emra obi che se Alan Kodwo chairman tenten ho no wonu mu anan ko mo person ka yetimi yenyina coming together no enyina ko hunu se da bi Alan ne vision any ye vision ye okay nti emfa ye ho ko join no ne ye wo ko bi e frɛ Ghana first in the ekuo no ankasa no emu bi kodi Alan echi ne mu bi so say da bi mo kodi Alan echi because omo so beti wo mo ho omo so akwakote wo mo, and you see it's like see MPP ni NDC ni yempe enso so yankase ye ho small way cry be the ego ne beto nche na yama the focus na the Ghana first no cry no we have not been able to overcome, let alone to think say ye be secure power every sir two established political parties here.
Yes, you see, sometimes people think presidency in is just a joke. Oh, sorry, because people are saying we won't change. Nah, when you put yourself up without any proper job and a proper work, be a wire. Winning a national election is a serious business. You don't just pop up social media appealing to people and you think that will be enough. It takes proper and your friends say groundwork out by over time. And what you're making sure say you have a nationwide appeal, and not people at the top, you see them merging. But because leadership, yeah, you can any amount from the same. You see, what people don't realize is that Nemana air driver NDC people, it's the same thing that is driving these minor political parties. So the only difference that is why I always say, young people, no, and I say, yeah, reform me, but see, reform me, these political parties were set up. Because Ghana is not the only place that you have two political parties or more dominant.
Yeah.
One Casabia Oti, a Biwo, Uko US, a Biwo, but they cannot take the people for granted because people now set you up and say, indeed, we are intellectuals, we are not emotional people following politics. We are people who are tracking policies, who will progress, and then I say for you can require a party who will for 14 years. We require a they lost the election miserably.
And no crown, a year party be a from a reform. Na Nigel Farage or Dano. Na Nigel Farage and so the Uber Kruma will be in him say, or ye broadcaster, I was not so at dinner, I will know what championing a year the British first system. It will only the end everything is about Britain. And apart from Britain, the for be a twin chain to no crown of the Omo and Kofono Magas, yem free you, Nimno, and you always Uncle they have a track record when it comes to politics. And yes, they just jump all over and they came on the scene saying, Yababa be doing to Biano, and follow Omno BNT on there be. Nigel Farage and his team has been there for years. In the end, a bay ye to a bay. Omunyina ko parliament omuni nkofo bebe and 9 bia ko parliament and a reform about 4 seats a House of Commons. Yeah, third force. What have we invested in? Because okay, we can compete with NDC MPP. Come on, MPP ni NDC 13 million. O machi halfway to abama. Now wo de one now de what Accra, what the only man is what to Ferrari, what to Lamborghini. Now there, or else on a power coffee for Chebi, what coffee for Lion, Binard and Namufi feels here. Maybe I 6 months, what could you now Belgium? I Ghanaians, young people, yeah. I've seen you, I've heard you, your plight. I am coming to rescue. This is bullocks, this is nonsense. You don't understand politics.
Yes. So, what is happening is more of, you see, because people are emotional. I'm for free say, oh, we are sick and tired of all of a sudden, things will just change. It will not change like that. Because Nipa no more lead this idea, say, I want to be third force. They are not serious. They themselves are not serious and they are not really in for power. No. Some, maybe free say, just attention, so let me put myself out there. And because what it takes to capture political power, they are not doing it. They are not doing those real things. Ivan. So the NDC and the MPP, hello.
Ivan, the Okana no cre now the intra. Onim say by virtue say we didn't be a year ballot paper so keke. Say also once upon the time.
Yeah, one runner for president, no.
That one alone, no crown, it opens doors. Yes. May a third force anyway, no. Wabua. War person, it ballot paper. So, no, what they say, a year ticket in the aqua paper, a year business contract, America, Germany, France, UK, any woman, any woman. Just because they have love for Ghana.
I get a lot of calls. I want a third force when I won't join it, and then Nipa won't join it. Now, maybe someone say, is the person ready, say, or no, or power? Because the people I see, none of them they are ready for power. For me to go and say, power, they are not ready. Individuals, as I said, a bit more personal way just to sell, advertise their wealth. Some want to be seen, some want certain diplomatic way because to capture political power. No, that is not what they are doing. Because the NDC and the MPP are well established, well grounded everywhere in this country. And it took years to do that. So you need to lay the foundation. Now, what leverage that foundation for political power? And social media is a huge instrument. But you see, it's not enough. Then I say for them, Nigeria.
Only say me Nigeria. Only say ye can't third force. Ama so more person ye presidential candidate. Senkomu Yobia, they really mean well, and they have Ghana at heart. Say. On person muji too many free MPP near this in Sema. And Kadiana so independent candidate about almost parliamentary. And what they say, even Crown, they have even gathered them, spoken to them, say, Enya, we want to support you as a independent parliamentary candidate. Let us work together until we walk parliament, not just a contest or a year won't persuade constituency, also contest, also campaign, mammy. They don't even understand that. They don't even understand the thing. I didn't know about doing SEO, any SEO, cheddar, well, cars, every real estate, according to a friend is saying, and I'm a you, as same way NDC, a friend is saying, Sam George, and was will be a what real estate will be a cron for, or so be a what all your real estate be a real estate developer be organa be a thief. And teach cheddar more money now, we are doing third force, Look.
Dr. Red, and America, you see more of jokers on this platform. They think that the youth are desperate, the youth are angry, until they can capitalize on that anger and rise to political prominence. We understand, in fact, and said the Wusikano, if we are really serious and we mean business, presidents in a year pursue, how many people are they even sponsoring to go to parliament? None. It's about the presidency. Now, even your 12 man are president, why no one at the end of parliament? So you see, me say this, some are just jokers. They are not serious. You understand? And because people are frustrated, they think they can play on the minds. Steady terrain, steady situation. Now who said none of these people in the middle independent none of them and are serious or are ready for political power. None, because we are serious. And go be at the go back to chess. Mimianum say you had the NDC and MPP. Obiam find the differences in the personal way to change. Yan come home, yam form a big friends a party and I say a big team. Now you're making sure that we give them a competition. And I know the day on the Ghana for whom say you many business. But individual ambition to be president, and you are not even ready to sacrifice it. Some of these people who try be in there, not for us, but they don't even know some of these people. And you think you can win the election and become president. Now, or be wasting the time. You see, they need to show that they are ready. And they are ready to compete the NDC and the MPP. You do it in a full package form, making sure that you get rep to go to parliament. That is where you start from. But all of a sudden, you just pop out from the blue moon in an election year with a few years to go. You must be crazy to think that you can defeat these established political parties. It is not possible.
Ivan, the intra and much and they have the audacity to say they want to be president. You see, when we started doing this, Face the Country, any freedom fighters, all these say the pressure, mounting pressure on the president. Let me say this. You start Face the Country as it will be when Spain, the first Face the Country a demonstration, myself and some team were in Spain and here. And then Oliver and Echo, I said, look, let's continue the Face the Country. Around that time, me, Dr. Ren, sitting here personally, I've got the text and everything. I contacted Cheddar and I said, look, gentlemen, I've seen the way I will take my gun. Come on board and let us work together and bring a friend and say, redeem our nation. I contacted this young man several times, through telephones and other things, through text messages, through Facebook and other things. This young man did not even return any call. Now, I've done a year ready no ajibe bia establish area. Who's a Ghana no? Who say BBS nobody wants to help. Nobody wants to support. Obi atwene at the end year establish we no. Demonstration afedie. Omo nyina hunu say yenye MPP yenye NDC for no. Then akogina Belgium baby. Akotwa video. My country, Ghana people, the youth, I've seen you. You are suffering. I am coming to rescue you. You are my redeemer or Sajefo. Okwawasa is nobody no Cheddar. Because I've got I've got a freedom fighter or contested as independent parliamentary candidate. Ewa wasa is yenimo. Asante Achim not. Ye wo hine Kwame Frimpong contesting as independent MP. Weni mo Cheddar. Ye call a friend say go more central. A+ wo why name Cheddar? But you want to be president, and even you want to be president, you're a man for crane nimo. You cannot just wake up and you see when I brought the idea of a third force, Now I was thinking, say, as a student of a year political science, and I love politics and I've done politics for years. I was thinking, say, I will get people to come on board. We will build the structures from the beginning, ground up. President, then we will start from a parliamentary system, and then we will infiltrate into the parliament. Then from there, no, you bet me form a small team or parliament, and then from there, no, we can be pushing. Send a man for be ye won akeka e parliament ye nioma ye parliament to help a year legislature no, to help a year laws no, to ensure say Ghana for no, because here can democracy no, the cracks of the democracy no, ejina parliament. Majority of the laws now no a free parliament, and people don't want to invest, but they want to come and lead Ghanaians.
Yes, and that is the joke in it. You see, and America said sometimes out of emotions, people fall for some of these scams and these kind of funny tricks people are pulling out there. For instance, you made a very important point. There are a number of people identify may call independent, and one may keep Kwame plus and several other people. How are these independent candidates able to identify these people and say Charlie, some more call independent, and they say, we are in the same area, let's meet. You don't see them. You don't. It's all about wanting to be president, which is a goal which is impossible in this current situation that you will mean. It's not possible. You understand? Parliament. How are you nursing and engaging people say in an event? So this should be so with me when elections and power. Obviously, you might want to have few people sponsor few people to go to parliament, because some of these things ain't come plans because or no one inside then they are not really serious. And me, that is why the frustration stemming from. Because these are people, Ghanaians feel that they are in a desperate situation, sick and tired of the existing political parties, looking for an alternative. People emerges and they decide to play on their emotions as if they are really serious. But when indeed, what national head of Moyana, or more crankasa cry a joke as change, political parties in a man for Fisebia, or Momoa Ghana, because what national way critical and intellectual review of these guys. In some more can. Now, so politics, they don't even understand it. And this attitude to fake people, you see, you cannot be Kwame Nkrumah. You can be inspired by Kwame Nkrumah. So don't go and take a stay and say, and I'm the new Kwame. You can't be new Kwame Nkrumah. But even Nkrumah.
Or no, you know, for title, no, Saji for one, or Saji for a party, or moon support it.
Because if Nkrumah comes today, he will have to revise everything to fit into the modern terrain. Because leadership, my culture say, I'll go through series of ways. Kwame Nkrumah fast the way that time, it might not be today. So you can find a way I'll draw inspiration for what Nkrumah did. But don't then say that everything the new Kwame Nkrumah have come to liberate when you have not laid down, because we will be a steady political party to capture political power. You need to build the foundation. And I'm asking, what foundation have these people built? Nothing. So it's like they see youth and we are desperate, so let's play on their minds. And that's exactly now no me video here. I ran to your bone, I'm saying, a crab chocolate baby so campaign. Now will be a Sabi. You know the kind of people are now call a place a very your friends a deplorable community. Campaign to talk to the people. Cars are who's on the corner. Say, hey, now is it wealth on display, or we are really committed to what we are doing to help people? Because you don't go to a poor community where people cannot even feed themselves with such an entourage of that kind of way. It doesn't make sense politically. If you speak to any political scientist, those things, it will even push you away. People will begin to point to red flags and then I say for them, I know the day, I bet you say you are not really serious. So I think that they should stop deceiving themselves.
Now, only crash the same cry womb. Ivan, only crash the same cry womb. Omo konso anoma kwagina no mo to t-shirt e de man kofo. Omo to t-shirt. Wo pese wo din kofo n'animo, you want to be a servant. Untimi nkrampo hambo so say ebia o misremo a yenche t-shirt okugina car so na afi wo to t-shirt. Hemfa na wo call a rally e wo UK ha. Ana Europe, ana America, wo hunu say politicians to t-shirt de man kofo. Such, I mean, the people don't have the understanding. You see, really and truly, many Ghanaians want change. Many Ghanaians are sick and tired of the MPP and NDC.
Oh, yes.
Because a year rap, a year quick about the democracy and say, democracy, Ghana for you to the end of my tired, but you won't call for being so among say, or my tired, they want to play on the ignorance of the Ghana and take advantage.
Yes,
and
maybe because near my play out, said they themselves they are not ready, and it's just a situation in Abba, and now people are just capitalizing on it just to play on the emotional keyboards of these young people and pretend. So you see, so we are NDC now, we are MPP, and you see those things happen. Because people who are seeking to offer you a competition are people you know that they are not serious. So that gives you that particular competitive advantage, and they will continue to do things like you. So I think that this third force or whatever, say people are really serious and they mean business. I think they need to lay the groundwork, the foundation. I am able to take it off. I'll make me convince the intelligent mind say indeed they are in for business, and you lay out certain strategies. And near my man for who said, well, you don't just pop up in an election year where two parties are well established countrywide, and you think because young people are frustrated, no, you can just take advantage. No, that is never going to happen. That is never going. So I think they need to revise their books, because from where I sit, I've gone through all of them and I don't see any serious person are you ready to capture political power. It's about, I see people just want to advertise themselves, just want to be seen in as a support. But so be ready, say, man, I'm ready to give the NDC and the MPP competition. I don't see any. It's that the comedy is too much, and I think they should get serious. You can't play on the minds of the people. People want real change. Ghana for are desperate. People call you day and night, and they tell you they are fed up. Just present yourself as a viable alternative and draw these people to yourself. So you can't do it. So if you are accusing somebody of being incompetent, you can imagine how incompetent you can be when you get there.
The basic organization won't me organize it on a small level.
Yes, at this small level, you can't organize yourself. You can't convince the other guys to buy into your vision, and you think you handle your mind, you can handle that thing. I think people need to get serious. That is why the entire always you see me in the media, I catch the people. I am not here for any third force. I'm here to educate.
Now, so one can say the third force, so we buy me the two now. So, Udia Wuangasano, Udia dance say you were cuckoo phobia, a buy Mecca Ivan. These are the people they want to work with you. And if you take up the, mantle, they are willing to do everything. But and that's why I like you, because you were able to, you were bold and honest with me. Said, look, bro, this third force for no money serious.
Yes, from day one. And I've had a lot of contact from a lot of people, but I don't see any of them so be a serious. That is why I decided that educated the people. Say educated the people of this country. Now I'm yet politically savvy. Trust me, even if the NDC or the MPP they can get them to do the right thing.
Exactly.
That is my consolation, though.
That is true.
Say it's me educated people. Now say more politics I say. And they approach it from an intellectual perspective. Trust me, it doesn't matter. So Saddam Hussein, president, that the people can force him to do the right thing. That is the only way. And now, people think we cannot go through that route. And among for better concepts, I say you see a leader and a say way. And some more sometimes with leadership, Makato is an art. You can perfect and make it. But when people are faking things, when people stand there and talk, say everything is fake. The person is not a leader, but he's forcing to be a leader. And you see, this is the biggest because you see, leadership, so what's the governance in leadership as here? Say, if you present yourself as a worthy candidate, definitely you need to tell people where you get your money from. Because you see, Yeah, we have drug barons sponsoring Oko Mexico. I go and read the Mexican story and the Colombia. A drug cartel the sponsor candidate, one by your friend's president. Now, all we knew we are now, wow, opinion channels and money in the business. So it has become very, very imperative. Say, Obia all bar stage in this one. Or no, presenting who said me a billionaire. No, you need to tell people, and this thing is the easiest thing. And as a president, if you cannot be Obia Ope president, if you cannot be transparent to tell people where you got your wealth from, or mine edition was able to be transparent with people. So you see, and I make us some of these people that are in the governance and Ankasa as a situation being a bamfo and Ghana for free so NDC and MPP over the years from our failure. We want an alternative. And Obia, sorry, I never say any idiot at all can just pop up and say, I want to be president because of where Akufo-Addo has brought our presidency to the veil of your friends, their reverence are a theater form. So I think that they need to get serious. You see, going into these elections, what I tell people is that let us be very critical. Let us be very reasonable. Now you're making sure that the choice you are going for, you'll be ready to hold the person accountable. Say, yes, I man, Jesus Christ, about nobody president. Trust me, Ghana will be the same place. Yeah, now as you transform here, and we will become the sentinels of your democracy. We are the very people who can protect the foundations of our democracy. So if John Mahama becomes president tomorrow, he knows to say the people are very sensible people who hold him accountable. Even the party for crowd, they know the party for form. That is the only change we need. The change where we have critical, intelligent masses who hold power wielders accountable. But these guys are mobile. Sometimes we have been kasa na omo attitude na support on ground obi a autistic kasa woni judge nyana ne buafu na how can such a character be here someone who is the president in a comedy bi na yedi tell it's a serious business Akufo-Addo na manabasa. So I think that they should not play on the emotions of Ghanaians. Presidency is a serious business. It's not a joke, and it's not for the gullible minds. It's for a serious mind. I say you sir.
Where the my main car was so good so with Rainbow Radio. Yenua a year Ivan Innocent Chey and a year between Komoi. Na me car so say eja. Ejumedi idea one more almost shamasia or mobomodia boami amede eja ejumedi nebro ye. All going to green aha buying tea. All going to green aha buying tea so the mess wa bomodia na fresh sia na jewo order and 10 temwa. I was 077 962 2364 26 and now 0755 25 or outside UK DIA +44 77962 236426 and now +44 7552 527877. Obebusa say the benefit ben and allo going to gyan haban tea no no more ema wo eboa wo boost we immune system sanso na eboa wo ema wo dwodwo ho atumi ma wo da kama eso aso boa regulate wo blood sugar levels so sanso and it helps with digestive system so anti-inflammatory and stress relief ni nyina ye natural pebi nanom 10 eno abia na me aya menom mejai sa normal tea mejai nom boga money say na dey men kan kire wo say and dey wo mu krom na for modern fa wo phone na download boga money and they are Google Play Store and say app store so na Diamond Cube Limited trading as boga money or more license to operate as a remittance company UK ha ene area sinyina ntina e Ghana so bomodia na manisika why the FNS obetimi and na boga money so e de atua hospital bills ama ma me no papa no mo fie ana wonu bi ana adofo bi aja ohia school fees ye bomodia na manisika wo mu rate so de dewu brutal kama obi nka se obi bi wu na emom ne se obi bi wu a bomodia se wo be frɛ the golden last respect funeral services frɛ wo mo and 10 wa wo me kira kwan nye yera kwan o mo wo wager broadcasting junction wa Kaswa road wo ye wa brochire de ye kwa ye be nyine bia na wadi holidays ni na bibia ba beto wo wo se fie wo atwede we ba komfo de aye koi sorry for amon pe wu de ana menti ase o kwa sorry so mpe se obewu o be de wa ko heaven Basa no Bomodiana Frey, the Golden Last Respect Funeral Services. One more a year, a friend is saying a year wager, a one broadcasting junction, and one more service, a being a year coffin, a year decoration, undertaking, canopies, chairs, sound system, ambulance, food, pallbearers, live band at the Wakete, photography, ni videography, trauma. Now, the other woman say, Ebiana will see cancer, binding yen to our and edge to our, but me to your part payment. Now, ye be a neja with your a year payment na akan. Terms and conditions apply in Tibomodia na eshensu. Come. Marriage link there. Ye kwa ye benyano, unim say, Anhenia. Obi enu obepe so be lonely at the top who is cancer na woni obi a obejeju accommodate ne sabe fa oboso eni nti bomodin na pe a marriage link kira kwan wo mo de omo ye a registered company on be handle everything related to marriage at the amount from omo +233 20 191 +233 20 191 and now +233 55 44 15679. Unsan so betumi aka omo ewo eye social media platform ni nyina no ane say the at marriage link gh with the shemu awon sabe kan omo ye a trusted marriage services are omo operate ewo Ghana. At marriage link they omo say everything related to marriage eye omo responsibility. Send you woni me no eye Monday bia na ye nua Ivan etwetwe nkomo mamemma ye nua no mo hwe na akwaba wo mo tie na menken kan message kakra na menko Ivan wo eye kojo osay tutu Bando was say, God is great. A year companies pulling out of a year Olympics due to a year offensive, a year anti-Christian, a year advertising. We share a year France and no, we say France and no. I send you one. I'm one. I won't follow you, ma. If we ask and well, Papa, ya one wasn't a year abre way. Now would you say no abre wapan? One abre waban anti wabra boom. A question and you well more yeah friend is opening ceremony. Na say who say yeah the son your way in baby bemudia. Well, you may feed you soon. I'm a canning in and so the winning mood and that. Rastuke or say big up yourself, man like a year Ivan. Respect scene. Let's just say Rastafua Bakurum, Kalamawe. Saposh or say Unia or ye a year Rim di Baba no was say Yanam 1 or no or Yanam 2. Just say one when you were Cabranti be assembly. Ura Kobana was Stressa was here or Sergeant was a party and no one is supporting. Dr. Ren, the question is not the question of the understanding, it is the question of poverty. The poverty as swallow as a cancer. Real a year 44, no freedom fighters was a greetings family, common sense family for do has say. Na a year I the pankasa no a year Holland I the pankasa Holland for my one or more feno when say be more any a year Ivan echi any tibomodiana contact me Ivan won worry me pa papa mana worry no oba papa Ishmael Nkrumah na te send ye kojo part or see what tie yen UK Alfred Idris me sure say no wo France sanso ana yenua me nko me WhatsApp numbers no so Afrani as a Dr. Ren greetings I am listening to you guys in Hackney me BM radio no and demu yopo ye tie mokra ene yesa pepe me chia mo nyina adwumadie no nyankopon boa mo na business nkoso kama we every fifi or say Dr. Ren I'm listening to you in Ghana I just arrived a week ago kruma ye she baby abefe bia manfo attack o jisika o enya say bi omo FAQ times are hard in Ghana ankasa ono so dia the free Ghana buy no we every araba ho say Dr. Ren called ye better ono so etie yen ewo cock foster na me grandmother otie cock foster hey asemo we every Juanita or say Dr. Ren good evening and good evening to handsome Ivan I love listening to him my tree is not all that great but anytime I listen to Ivan because he missed the English with the tree it gives me the picture of how the Ghana's politics is at now God bless him and God bless him God bless Mother Ghana we every abnao my main comfort we last one I mean for the messages are coming to we every Franklin or say doc why you need na nyame enhyira in Chiaka Sian Koma Franklin Kujo, all the way in the United States. I also a war where you kama. Now, me de economy bisa Ivan a seminar. We every Plato and it claims about a democracy. Plato said democracy risks bringing dictators, tyrants, and demigods to power. Now, the claim by Kunzo to twice or say democracies have leaders without proper skills or morals. And that is quite unlikely that the best equipped to rule will come to power. Democracy is not the best system. Oh, no, Plato, no. Ivan. Sunday, I'm going to next week. So, I'm say, watching him say, any, Padia, no, I'm free, and free, no. Watching him, no.
Yeah, Dr. Ren, quick one. You see, in recent times, because of kwanya amamuono afa ayabasa na nipa yedi to me ema omo Rainbow Radio live 92.4 FM and DAB+. I decided to take the people for granted. I'm for free democracy no so I'm for I lose trust and confidence in democratic institutions. I said democracy ankasa. So over here recent Ghana for the level of confidence I'm repose in democracy I depreciate here and then I'm somewhere around 74%. It's just a Ghana for free say democracy na yeah no so man for so my na make say the entia Emma Sadia money nyina there didn't say yeah say no what we are practicing it's not a real democracy. So when you base on what we are doing here now, when I say democracy, you are mistaken because this is not democracy. The last time I told you, sir, we have imposters fronting democratic rule. So they are running the country like a Ponzi scheme. Because over here, Western Europe,
Asema okakan waka no hade bia no eno na kwaku kwa hatin so the accounts say na the way MPP for manage a friend is a Ghana no I say a Ponzi scheme pa no mo.
Yes. It's a Ponzi scheme because leadership are in recent times just say any Ponzi scheme be no difference. So if you base democracy analysis not on the you are mistaken because so to anywhere democracy like I say won't mean say any problems several problems, but can you compare it with other forms of government? You can't because obia find a bag na wanko Germany or UK or Western European countries akobobra and answer or America and Canada. Nipa do send a form bag is or Russia akobobra. Tell me, Nipa do send or find a bag is or China akobobra. Tell me, Nipa do send a find a bag is or call a chiro baby akobone bra. Why? Because over there no and say any democracy na yes authoritarian leadership that kind of communism we know and create that viable free market na ubenya adwuma ye okrum hoda ba obera me ni wo nam for do ma sesa o bag de do na say me kwa Russia kwotena akobobra de do say obi kwa China na okofa nema na aba ye kwotena akobobra because of these forms of governance in said the nema city anti democracy no we na we ni ya a more viable economic opportunities are open but let us not make a mistake. This is not a democracy. When a democracy, when a president Akufo-Addo sorry, no, I can say an institutional head, when he knows that the constitution protected the turnout of that particular person. Look at the way a man hounded Domilivo out of his office, and several other state institutions are going through the same thing. Banks are shaky. The foundation na se for nyina nkoye na yakofa obi oye president or your parliamentary candidate ya or be running across the country all seeking power no na ya na koto bank na say or manage a sinking bank, and there are several other nema akoso. So let us not make a mistake and say democracy is not good, democracy ain't helpful yet. What you are witnessing is not democracy, it's a Ponzi scheme. Certain greedy individuals be free say they can pretend that they are playing democracy, and in reality, they know what they are doing. So this is not democracy. So you can use this as a yardstick. The only thing that works best here is how to go into election, vote. Yeah, democracy. Young elections. Na young tuaba. NDC awareness, MPP awareness, yeah, ceremony. Beyond that, nothing works. Nothing, because you can't hold leaders accountable. Obi Yesika, you can't hold them. Sisi Ladapa, $1 million. All the investigations are saying about Wafasikano, Wafanu, and you call this a democracy elsewhere. The very moment they are same with best at and Kenya do now no US Donald Trump man address and I say there has been a security breach, Look at the way a man for atena mame we konsoa man resign kofie. I had the Secret Service director.
Yeah.
Or no be or the baby o. But almost say the ultimate responsibility, on the bear say such a massive security breach happened now. She has to go and she has to resign. Kimberly, she's gone. You understand? So I think that place be saying who said the real so America can sit down. Now we're taking notes of the gains. Now we're taking note of the other side of democracy because it is a system, and no one can say on the weaknesses in any other way, and people always might want to exploit it, but don't based on Ghanaian version of democracy and pass a hasty conclusion that democracy is not the best, because what we are seeing here is not a democracy.
Wow. Hey. It's easy. Monday no Diana Anwashi. My main kind message we a year Nana Kwame or say I couldn't agree more with a year Ora Ivan. Democracy is all about the rule of a year great minds. Currently, when you look at Ghana, it looks as if you see word, but me can't have visual art for me. Or you see word because currently Ghana is being ruled by weak minds. Anyway, Ivan, you share a Japadia document about Bontia. You didn't come and they watching him say a year, why rubbish a year a Japadia document. No, sorry, a year a Chimebua Hene. I mean, can I say because a year a chim fuina woman hene because you watch him kutuku a chim bushamina a chim a year a buakwa into a buakwa for my hene. Arabishi a year a Japadia document. But before no, a year sent your group I say and they be investing $980 million US after Omakwa a year full operational licenses. Now the question is say, are then a year DSC ye VR siwo. Sorry, ye Valco siwo. Na sorry, Tama oil refinery siwo. Na yentimi emphasikanshim na mboa na ya fa eye different eye foreign na bia wa be in the business na nim momu no adwuma no ayesen ka Tama oil refinery ni ye no enu bia no no so ba be. As a nation, do you think say our leaders really love the nation and are willing to support the businesses that belongs to the government? Anna?
Yeah, Dr. Ryan, in a normal governance space, when you ask that question, it's reasonable. But we are in a cartels regime. This is a typical cartel regime. Criminals and running on minor at this time. And it's business. People are just cashing out on this country because they know, sir, the very people in this country, we are emotional. As I'm about you're the politics, and then we get tired, we draw back, and they continue to do. So in the cartels regime, some of these things, that is what happens. Because my culture, I have to when you share your friends saying South America side, or brand cocaine business, and that's a focus, sana near money. People know how to front businesses like this. When I who says Sentino, you're foreigners and but I wouldn't be surprised if it is the same people who are behind this whole thing, using state money for private ventures and private businesses, and they have people fronting it because we've seen it in the past. PDS by I said the same thing. America Fonica said we should encourage private sector participation. Why or Mobusian for account no forming the private sector. And I'm no way company bina your frontier, then they came and collected our money. So in some way we have proof and evidence to back it up. So you see, it is not as if they don't think about the country. They think about themselves. They prioritize their individual greed, welfare over the collective good of the people of this particular country. That is why I'm saying these guys are criminals. And the water one who hope say these people will do the right thing, make sure say or minor I broke. I ever try to do things to bring it on it. I bet bring it on minor up. Now you're creating a viable economic incentive and opportunity for young people. I bet me grab it for a better future. No, you build the foundation for young people to leverage, to maximize their individual potential, innate potential. Omono is business as usual. And your manager padie no. Na yantia na nkana no mo kwabo Senate companies don't come here, Senate hotel don't come in. And so we did documents are associated. Associated. Companies or one kasa file my secret or mokase transaction advisors advise us. Go and read advice and look at the actions these people took. So you see, clearly a chance there, I'm not bad for business. I'm more mad because who could deal like so for man. Or mad because I say Akufo-Addo or ye nipa boninia be who ni su nipa da. To be very honest, it's unfortunate that make us the same way. But to me, I think he's a very terrible person. Very terrible. And he will go down as the worst president ever. Set water on my way. So because in Kanipa, we need to baby, I can papa team, you shepherd greedy young guys. And I said, when young people come into governance, they have a lot of ambitions, unbounded ambition. But when I go through experiences of life, I pass it through everything. No? You are the one I will bust up. You look through and you stop them. But I don't know enabler. I will create the environment for these people to engage in this state capture. And I never know who my young tongue. Because now I'm a trans and I may so searching. So what will be the motivation for Nipa bet the Saniba Kotanasa can't 5 hotels at Boomsa Young Town because they are not running, they are running at a loss. How?
And you
can't bundle 5 hotels together.
Jinasumami na yenko a full line. So hello. Hello.
Doc.
Yes, Yamakwaba.
Hello, Doc. What's your name?
Yeah, two and count you to you.
Yeah, good evening to you. And my minchia, my brother Ivan. So, Meda was a dog for the opportunity. I think say my brother Kasemba could be. I kind of have a little bit of difficulty in agreeing with him. But I would respect the fact to say, you say opinions are like noses, each has one. So I respect his view, and I also have my own view. Me, I'm taking it from the angle, say, his comments about say, Mama Yen, assume say democracy is not good, and that if you look at China and Russia and whatever, they nobody goes there. But you see today you can't world superpowers now, the one who is almost about to lead the world superpower in terms of economic and all that muscles now. China is leading. US said it is relying on past glories and all that, and because your world doma the Western character, no, you feel say US is, but in terms of economic China is leading. China is not democratic. Look what Russia is going through now.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what Anna Ivan can say. We share democracy no ane amaba ba yefuma ene will be to me a komubi and into head democracy no asisi no kra na attractive be. And I think that in a way, you guys seem to share the same.
Yeah. Where or make a comparison, say China, nobody is going to China because on the democratic